Oh, yay, you're here. Come on in. It's Monday, the first full week of March. I'll just let you know, somebody is not too happy with me.
Me.
This one here.
I caught your cold, but it did get me out of snow clearing on Saturday. So I was very grateful for that.
So
I was going to text you. I'm like, thanks, I'm in the house not clearing snow.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So my cold's on the backside. You're still dealing with it. I think I spread it around pretty good. Let's bring in the TV family because we have a new face. Shelly Marriage in for Brian for the next few days.
I'm not very happy about this. Why am I here then? I don't want to get sick.
Well, you're way over there.
You're way over there. You're going to be fine. Brian was fine all last week.
Believe me, I'm going to keep my distance now.
Yeah, okay. Yes, question from the class?
I am also sick.
No.
Oh.
Emily, oh my gosh.
But you might have got it from Luke, your camera guy.
I'm blaming Live by Luke, yes.
Okay.
But I did not get out of snow clearing, so thank you and thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so how did everybody do with the snow clearing? Because, okay, so you didn't do it.
No, mine wasn't bad.
Yours wasn't bad? Really?
Mine wasn't bad. Well, because I'm so close to the lake, I got a lot of rain actually. Like it was really like slush falling from the sky.
We got so much snow, and one of our beautiful trees in the backyard is gone.
Because it was like the heavy, wet stuff.
Yeah,
that's rotten. I'm sorry to hear that. That's the worst.
We had damage to 2 of our trees on our property too.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I also had to drive home in it because I was here for the evening news. And that's when it all began. Yeah, we weren't even sure if we were going to get out of our parking lot.
I know. I was watching it, and I'm like, okay, who's got the wellness room?
Yeah, we thought we were going to be spending the night for sure. Yeah, and then for my drive home, I was driving right into the wind and barely could see. It was blizzard conditions for me.
That was Friday night around
Friday evening. Yeah, later.
7,
like
8 o'clock?
Yeah, closer to midnight. Yeah,
closer to midnight, right, because of the 11 o'clock news. Yeah.
Oh, right.
So, because I had a different experience, Shelley, because I went out and started shoveling it on Friday night. So because the kids were in bed, Liz was at work, so I actually did the first session in the snow on Friday night to get that out of the way.
Oh, that's smart.
So then I went out on Saturday morning and did the secondary. Obviously, there was a lot more that fell through at the night, but it wasn't as bad because I got like halfway done.
So were you outside then during the snow lightning?
Yeah.
That was the snow lightning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Hearing the thunder.
Snow thunder. Yeah.
Wasn't that's so unique too, right? To be out during that.
We had a lot of viewers writing in and saying they heard it or saw the lightning.
Yeah.
All I can hear is Annette going, and me going,
Yeah.
Is that why you're way over there?
I should have been last week.
right?
It's already happened.
I know, it's already happened.
Well, we start off today's chit chat with some sad news. Gary Rosington, Leonard Skinner's last surviving original member, who also helped to co-found the group, has passed away. They had that massive plane crash where they lost their lead singer in '77 and one of their guitar players. And yeah, the band's kind of just been holding on. But Sweet Home Alabama was a huge song for me in high school. Huge.
Simple Man? Simple Man? Right? That's his name is Simple Man, right?
The song?
The song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another huge hit of theirs, right? They got a lot of hits.
Yeah, big band. Yeah, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Okay, well, this is something everybody is talking about. Comedian Chris Rock is finally opening up about Will Smith's infamous slap. I couldn't find 20 seconds, 30 seconds without swearing. Like, I really had a hard time. I will continue to see if I can show a little bit later.
I watched it with my parents.
Wow! Awkward. How'd that go?
Yeah. So, listen, he curses. You know he was going to curse.
Yeah.
I found him cursing a lot more. I found him very angry.
It was more of a rant.
It was like just a continuous rant. I didn't love it, to be totally honest. I didn't think it was that funny. I do really like Chris Rock, but like just some of his takes, and then and then it got, so I'm sitting there with my parents. Morning, Mom and Dad. And then it kind of just became where we kind of turned it down and just kind of, so what else is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't actually. I missed the Will Smith part because it was at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because obviously he doesn't want to do it the first of the show because you want people to stick around for it. So
I didn't like a lot of his jokes.
Neither did I.
I found they crossed the line just a little too far. And I mean, as a comedian like that, you're allowed to cross the line to a certain extent, but I found they just went too far.
And then, so I did go back and watch a lot of the stuff that he did, the Will Smith stuff, and he did put a lot of it on Jada. So I don't know if there's something with Jada there, like. I don't know what it was, but a lot of it was on Jada. So
well, I think it's because they have an interesting relationship, Will and Jada, and their podcast. They talked about a lot of infidelity and the fact that the person who's suspected to perform the infidelity with Jada. Is that right wording? I'm not sure. Interviewed Will. It's just a very bizarre situation, and Chris really.
It was abnormal.
It was a little different. I wouldn't call it abnormal. I would just call it different because everybody's has different types of relationships. But Chris really focused on that as well. Yeah.
I'm interested to see the numbers.
Me too. We'll see.
The live numbers, and then if people are watching it, because the reviews aren't that great.
No.
About the whole show. Did you see it, Shelley?
No. I'm just trying to stay as far away from you guys as I can. I'm thinking, okay, they're over there on the couch, the three sickies there.
She came over to my desk earlier and she's wearing her mask, and I put on my mask, and I was like, I'm sorry, and I'm going to wear it when I'm not on the air.
I feel so bad for you guys. So I hear you all sniffling.
We're fine.
And stuff.
Okay.
You're pulling through.
It's a cold.
Tested negative. So
yeah, same.
Yeah, hey, we've all worked with colds, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still like.
Stay in your box.
Okay, yes, I'll stay in this box. Let's talk about.
Yeah, you made it. A brand new week. Come on in. It's the first full week of March. It's the week before March break, and I know a bunch of people that are taking this week off.
Like our own Brian Wood.
Brian Wood is off this week, so happy to have Shelley Marriage on the show for the next few days. Hello, Shelley.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Emily.
Morning.
And then you're taking off too then, aren't you, Shelley?
I am.
You're going somewhere warm?
Yes.
Ooh,
Good for you.
Good for you.
Jealous.
Well, you've been working hard because you've been, I know there's the three of you. There's yourself, there's Steve, and there's Brian. And when somebody goes, somebody else has to fill the gap.
And right now the two guys are off.
The two guys are off. So this is day 9 for me in a row. I'll be up to 11 by the time I head out of here.
Well-deserved vacation.
Okay, a lot of things are making sense to me now. Yes, okay.
So the countdown is on then.
Good for you, Shelley.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Well, thanks for getting up mighty early with us this morning. Everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Lots of rest for the weekend.
Because I happened to give Annette my fine cold because we sit beside each other.
Yeah.
Listen, after all the snow came down, I know it was a busy day on Saturday. It was a good day on Saturday because it was a nice morning and things were melting and
beautiful.
And neighbors were out.
Yes, everybody came out.
Everybody was outside.
Yeah.
That's when you get to see your neighbors in the winter when you're shoveling the snow and you're chit-chatting and laughing and doing all that type of stuff.
True.
And then yesterday was a nice day too.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
It was
mild.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Come on, listen.
Let's
and
go spring.
Yeah, totally. And there's so much snow there for all the winter activities for March break next week. So there's good news for that too. All right.
Barney is not purple, but Barney is gorgeous. Brenna and I are hanging out in the barn here at Mountsburg. Oh my gosh. And we're doing a lot of maple madness, I would call it, really. We're going to Mapletown, and we're going to be checking out all the different activities that they have here. And tell me a little bit about Barney.
So Barney's new to our team. Serena is his caretaker and manages all of the animals we have here at Mountsburg Barn. And we're really excited to have Barney. He's new, he came in the summertime. He's a 7-year-old Belgian, and he's been pulling our wagon for Christmastown, and now we're excited to introduce him to Mapletown.
Mapletown, I love it. And wagon rides are back. This is the first year since COVID.
Yeah, we were doing them at nighttime last year just to try to spread it out, and we were only able to take smaller groups. So this will be our first year since 2019, or I guess maybe the very beginning of 2020,
right?
Doing wagon rides with the general public, and we're really excited to introduce people to our 2 new Belgians. So Barney has a friend, a 4-year-old Belgian named Rex.
Those are my fingers, Barney. Those are my fingers. You can't have them. No, you can't have them. Sorry. Floppy lips. Ow! That's my finger. What else do we have going on during the week for March break in Mapletown?
Oh, we're so excited to welcome people. We do welcome about 20 to 25,000 folks to Mountsburg over the course of our maple season. It starts March the 4th, and we're running until April the 9th.
Amazing.
And we'll be running weekends, holidays, March break. People can come and get pancakes in the pancake house. They can taste candy. They can do taffy on snow. They can visit with the animals in the barn. Right, Barney?
Right, Barney?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barney.
And they get a chance to see maple being made. So we are working a sugar bush.
Yeah.
And we've tapped 440 trees this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and the sap's already flowing.
That's amazing.
I'm not sure what will happen with with the weather that we're getting this weekend, so it might freeze back up. But the nice thing about that is it prolongs the season.
You know what? I don't think it will freeze back up because it's going to be mild. But I think tomorrow we're for the weekend weather and into early next week, we're going to be forecasting temperatures above 0. So that's good.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, it means the sap will flow.
That's good.
Which is what we love to share with people.
All right, Barney, we got to move on. We got to go to other places around here, but I would love to take you with me. We're going to tap some trees and we're going to check out some other things as our tour of Mapletown continues. Much more coming up on Morning Live. Stay with us. Don't eat my hair. Thank you so much, Shelley. Now, Tim, I know this has a bit of a special place in your heart, and I'm interested to see it happening.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about this contest that happens every year in Key West. Now, a Canadian woman and a pediatric cardiologist from Georgia are winners in Key West annual conch shell blowing contest. I've tried to blow into a conch shell before, and I'm horrible at it. I don't know how you get a noise out of that thing, but they can all do it really well.
Tim can make a lot of noise out of anything.
Out of anything, yes, because I blow a lot of hot air, as people do tell me. So when I was in Key West, this is, oh goodness,
long before the pandemic.
It was before the pandemic, maybe 2018. So we toured all of the Florida Keys, which is a beautiful area.
And this is for Morning Live.
This is for Morning Live. We went for the show.
I'm packing my suitcases because I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Look at you! Oh, that's pretty amazing.
But Key West, it's
that's so fun. Key West is such a great place.
I haven't been down. I've been in the Keys, but not all the way down to the west.
We drove all the way through them with my family one year.
Okay,
those
you took the family.
Are horrifying,
right?
Oh,
the 7 Mile Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah, it just reminds me of an Eagles song because I think we started the song at the beginning of the bridge and then it ended. Hotel California ended once we got to the end.
Do you know what movie that bridge is in? What movie?
The one that blows up. It's with
Arnold.
Is it True Lies?
True Lies.
Yeah,
it is True Lies. That is the bridge in True Lies.
Yeah.
But Key West is like an adult playground.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Good.
Okay, I want to get to this because it's kind of funny. Canadian actor Eugene Levy says being best known these days for the patriarch of the Rose family on Schitt's Creek is a welcome change from the nonstop attention he received after American Pie.
Coming up after the break, Oakville and Milton Humane Society is back with another adoptable pet. Do we know what it is?
I don't.
Okay.
It's cute.
Okay.
And Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horvath is going to be here with an update on what's happening in the city.
Am I doing this right, Brenna? Teaching me how to tap a tree. This is so fun.
Age-old tradition, right? People have been tapping trees in this part of North America for thousands of years. This is an indigenous practice. We've learned from indigenous communities, First Nations communities in this area. And so people would come out and tap trees every year. You're taking part in something that's so timeless.
Wow, this is incredible.
So if you push on the back of this with one hand and then squeeze the drill and then you're going to press in until you get to the tape.
Okay.
Yep, a little harder. A little bit more. Awesome, and then hold the trigger and then pull the drill back out.
Am I there? Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, see all that nice white wood?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's sapwood, right? If you go too far in, then the tree is the sap doesn't run in the center of the tree. The wood's dead there.
Oh, so you have to be very specific, and there has to be a very specific measurement.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It just goes into the cambium layer. Okay. So I'm going to insert this. This is called a spile. All right, and it's going to get nestled in right up to the collar there, and then. Wouldn't be maple if you weren't tapping a tree, right? So this is the tapping part.
Oh, this is the tapping part.
You're going to hit it right there. Perfect. Make it nice and snug. So give it a little tug and see if it's staying in. Perfect. Yep. And then you're going to hang your first pail. So grab a pail, and it just hangs from the hook here.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. This is so fun.
Yeah.
We're at Mapletown, by the way. This is where we're doing this in Mountsburg. This is so cool. Okay.
So one more little accessory that you need, and that's this lid.
Okay.
And so you're going to insert that through the hole in the top of the spile. And the reason for that is sap doesn't react well with rainwater. We don't want rain. It turns the sap yellow, believe it or not.
Oh,
and so we always know when rain or snow has gotten in a pail, and then that sap needs to be disposed. So we always have a lid on the top to keep rain out. And
what about protecting it from animals?
You do somewhat. I mean, there's not a ton of animals that we find that get into this other than humans. We do find people will go in there, and we do encourage, it says no tasting because these are our COVID lids, but when people come out, we can instruct folks on how to safely sample sap without having to worry about contamination. So when they come out, they'll interact with our staff. We'll teach them how to safely sample sap. It is the taste of spring.
Of course. And now, how has the weather affected the season this year?
So it's been a really interesting season. But one thing I've learned over the years is that maple season's not done till it's done. When it's finished and the taps come out, then you can call it. So whether it's going to be a good season or a bad season, we don't know yet. What we do know is that with climate change, it is affecting how the trees are running, how much sugar is in the sap. Further south down into Vermont, they're seeing a higher level of impact because of the warmer weather.
Yes.
Up here, what we'll see is effects from drought. So like over the summer, we had that very, very dry period. And so this year, our sugar makers do a lot of recording and monitoring of different statistics on the trees, sap flow, sugar content, that kind of thing. And we're tracking it year over year so we can see what the impacts will be.
Okay. All right, coming up, we are going to be talking a little bit more about Mapletown and what you can do here, especially with March break coming up. This place is amazing for kids. Don't go anywhere. Lots more coming up.
Okay, come on in. It's Monday. Somebody's building a case beside me that I'm a member of Team Cats.
I think you really are.
If you just missed it, we had another adoptable pet because it's Monday and it's the cats, and I like animals, so I think it's the second week in a row that I've been holding cats, and I look over and guess who is snapping pics for evidence when I'm bashing Team Cats.
For my forensic file.
Yes, next time. All right, let's bring Shelley in for Brian. Good morning, Shelley. Hello,
Good
Emily.
morning.
Hello.
I know.
There's like cat here.
Is that cat here still kind of?
Like somebody's just floating by.
Still kind of kicking around.
Well, that was me.
Here.
It's just me.
And that
naturally.
Was like
I mean, it could be me, it could be Shelley. We've all kind of got it.
Because we got two members of Team Dog here in the boxes with Shelley and. Do you? I know you have I know Emily, you have a dog. I know that Shelley has a dog. And I always forget the name of the dog.
Always forget the name. Pongo.
It was about to come. Pongo.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a cat too? Do you have cats or just dogs?
No.
Just a dog. Okay.
I had lots of guinea pigs once upon a time.
Are they a good pet?
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, you started it.
At one time I had 9 guinea pigs.
Wow.
Little
Like
did we
you
know
yourself,
we had,
or like
we thought we had 2 males, but we didn't.
oh, they had babies.
Aha.
Oh.
Yes. That's a whole story in
I had a
itself.
hamster.
You did.
did.
Nice.
What's the difference between a hamster and a guinea pig?
Guinea pigs are
different
bigger.
animals.
They can't climb. You don't have
They
to
look the
have
same,
a
don't
roof.
they? No? Hamster
So
and
you can
guinea
let
pig?
them wander around. They don't really get into things.
Hamsters are
Tiny.
Oh,
creatures.
Just wait for what you were going to say there.
Oh,
Nice.
now we're waiting for emails from Team Hamster.
Yeah, right? Team hamster right there. Okay.
Guinea pigs
sorry.
live longer too. They live 6 to 7 years.
Oh, do they really? Okay.
Aha.
Goodness.
hamsters try and like gnaw their way out of the cage, and they spin
Yes.
on the wheel all night long and keep you awake, and it's just they're little monsters. But if you love your hamsters, that's cool.
Yes.
Here at Mountsburg, and it is such a great educational facility to bring the kids. I have learned a lot. I just tapped a tree. Who can say they've done that? It's such a historical moment, and there's tons of history rooted here, and you love to teach kids about it.
We do, because this sugar bush has been, these trees are 150 to 200 years old.
Wow.
So we know long before the park was here that these trees were tapped by the Cameron family who lived here. But likely even longer before that, and all of the sugar maples that you see in southern Ontario would have been tapped by First Nations people.
Yeah,
right?
of
And that's
course.
where the tradition started, and that's where us as settlers we learned it from. So here at Mountsburg, we like to be able to educate people about the process of sugar making from the First Nations period before contact with colonists to the pioneer period, and then up until about the 1860s is what you're seeing over there.
Okay.
And then we take them right through to present day.
Oh,
But-
that is so neat. So they're kind of, we start at little stations over here.
Yes.
So we've got
Yeah.
the first one, this one. Now, the different sizes of pots represents just the different process kind of that they go through?
Yes, so this was the most important thing when you're making maple is A, you don't boil it over because
Right.
it bubbles a lot and boils over, makes a big mess. But B, and the most important is you don't burn it, right? Because
Right.
it's 40 pails of sap to 1 pail of syrup, right? So it takes a lot of effort
Wow.
to make maple syrup. And so if you start boiling it and you're not controlling your boil, by the end, if you burn it, you've
waste it.
burned so much labor and
Yeah.
time.
So much
and
love.
The heart's broken.
Yeah.
So in the early pioneer period, this is what First Nations and pioneers would have used to make maple syrup, and it's a 3-pot method made out of cast iron.
Okay.
And so you start with your clear sap in the first pail, the first pot, and then you, as it boils down, you move it into the second pot where it's smaller, you can control it better,
Yeah.
and you finish it in the final pot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is such an interesting process, and I can imagine it's a labor of love for sure.
It would have been.
Sweetwater season. Tell me about that.
So Sweetwater season. So we welcome people to Mountsburg from Mapletown, but our sister park, Crawford Lake, which is just 15 minutes away, has a reconstructed longhouse village, 15th century longhouses.
Wow.
And so we really like to make sure that people understand the indigenous origins of sugar making, how that process was affected over the years through colonization, and how people are practicing sugar making from those communities today. So if people head over to Crawford Lake, they get a really interesting take on that, get to take in the first harvest exhibit, they get a chance to taste cornbread with maple syrup, they get a chance to try a selection of maple syrup grades.
My daughter's class did go there. Now that you've said that, I'm like, yes, she did tell me about the cornbread and the maple. All right, so many different activities, so educational here in Mountsburg. Come check it out. You can see how maple syrup is made firsthand, and we're going to continue that learning experience coming up.
Thanks, Shelley. Well, this chat is kind of funny because I think like dogs are kind of like babies, and I've had babies, so I'm allowed to say this. But you know when you see a baby and it's not like the cutest baby, but you're like, oh, your baby's so cute, and then you're like, oh, that's an ugly baby.
Yeah.
You got to see the baby.
Totally. And you don't see your baby as being like a little ugly baby.
Oh,
like
no, of
I look
course
back
not.
on little Gabriel. He had like a pretty misshapen head. And you're
Right,
just like,
Brooklyn was the same.
Yeah,
She was like this gangly little baby.
Yeah, little buddy.
Yeah. But now they're the most adorable things ever. Does your dog have a face that only its owner could love? Well, if you answered yes,
I really laughed at that, didn't I? It's a real cackle.
Because the world's ugliest dog contest is once again taking submissions.
Can Canadians enter that, I wonder?
I don't know.
I guess you
I'd
want
have to get paper
have to
signed.
go.
I guess if you want to take your dog all the way down there.
Yeah, if you want to go all the way to California.
But I love that shows that like no matter what a dog looks like or what a person looks like, there's so much love.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's inner beauty, not necessarily outer beauty.
Yeah.
There should be Christopher Guest should do a movie on that. Have you seen Best in Show?
Best in Show.
I have.
The Best in Show.
That is a movie I will watch over and over and over again.
We talked about Eugene Levy. He's in that.
Yes.
Totally.
How people get so obsessed with their dogs.
Yeah.
They
Just
run
next level.
Yeah.
Okay, this caught my attention because I have kids and they're going to be teenagers one day. The University of Massachusetts is warning about a TikTok trend after 28 ambulances were summoned to off-campus parties. So it's a jug, you empty out a portion of it, you add your alcohol, and the big trend is that you add like electrolytes or like a powder or like that squeeze, kind of like a water enhancer that you add to it. A lot of kids put in Red Bull. It's pretty much just mixing your own garbage. They're saying it's a good thing because it keeps you hydrated and you can put a lid on it. And of course, universities are famous for having issues with people, you know, drugging their drinks, right? University students. But it is also an incredible amount of alcohol in a very short period of time.
Binge drinking. Yeah.
Sorry, it's in that jug.
It's in a jug. So the kids are at parties in university
carrying that
with
jug
that
around?
huge jug.
Oh my
that's this, you know, it's supposed to be half water, half alcohol. But if you think about that, they're putting in 3/4 of a 26er. Imagine how much booze that is.
Okay. I did silly things in university.
So did I, but did you ever do that?
I did not do that, kids.
Yeah.
That's a lot. They're just getting better ideas, I guess.
Drink responsibly.
All right, well, I went
Or
to...
fill your jug with maple syrup.
Oh, after the break, one more visit to Mountsburg, Mapletown coming up.
We've made our way to the evaporating room where the sap gets turned into syrup. Again, it's a whole educational process. We're learning a lot. Brenna is here with me. We've got different types of syrup. Tell me what's going on back here.
Okay, so this is where all the magic happens,
Yes.
right? Like this is like agricultural alchemy is what's happening, right? So the sap runs, it's only got 3% sugar in it, and the rest of it is water and other minerals and vitamins. And this is the only recipe you're ever going to do where all you're doing is taking away an ingredient. And so that's what's happening here. Is our sugar makers are manage this very complicated looking machine that's essentially designed to boil water. Right? So all it's doing is boiling the water off, and in the end, you'll end up with that sticky sweet syrup.
Wow.
So the numbers that you see here on the evaporator at the end, 219 is the temperature it needs to be considered maple syrup, 67% sugar, and the red is the temperature that it is currently. So when those two match, we get an automatic pour, and that's how we control for that burning that I mentioned earlier. So we make sure we don't burn the syrup.
Well, if you think about technology, I mean, we were just outside with those big cauldrons to, you know, how
you know, the Indigenous would have to, you know, think about the temperature and how to get the perfect temperature and how they mastered that before we had technology like this.
Yes,
it's fascinating.
It's an art. It's a science and an art, right? Indigenous science it was very accomplished. It is very accomplished. So this is how we do it at this sugar bush. But backyard sugar makers, they still do it by eyeball.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You watch the bubbles. You learn how to test viscosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of testing,
all right.
that's what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Okay, what are the three here?
Just like a wine tasting, you start light and you move dark. So we're going to start with the first one. Beginning of the season, syrup is lighter in flavor and lighter in color. That's good, right? That's amber.
I feel like I need a pancake.
That's what you get in the grocery store. Late season, at the very end, right before you pull taps, this is what you'd be making. Very strong maple flavor, very dark color. Can you taste the difference?
That almost tastes like a maple candy.
Yes, it's very strong.
It is super sweet.
Same trees. People think maple has one flavor. It's not a one-note product. It's something that's got multiple flavors. Now we wanted to give you something really interesting to try as well. So this is birch, because most trees that make sap can make syrup. We just do it with sugar maples because they're the earliest and they've got most sugar and they have the most sap. But this is birch. So birches will run in
I'm really
about
sure how
April.
to like get it out of here because it's so dense.
Okay, so very different flavor here.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that different?
A little bit balsamic vinegary and a little bit black licorice-y.
Yeah, it's more of a savory than it is a sweet. And
I would almost put this on a salad.
Yes, salad, on a fish, on meat, for glazes, or I liked it on like vanilla ice cream with a little bit of blueberries.
Oh.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Oh, absolutely.
But it is not something that you buy every day. It's a bit of a delicacy. It's 80 to 100 liters of sap to make 1 liter of syrup. So it's not it would be for special occasions only.
Okay, and this that we've got it on here, 25 centimeter diameter.
So this is actually showing you the width of a tree that it needs to be able to be tapped. Sugar makers, from time immemorial to present, have a relationship with their trees.
Yes,
it's a really important thing that you have gratitude for the trees, that you take care of them so they can take care of you. Right? It's a relationship. So you never ever tap a tree that's less than 25 centimeters in diameter.
Right, because you damage it.
About 40 years old.
Wow, 40 years old. So that's when you have to start tapping the tree. Not until it's 40. So my age.
So if we planted a tree today,
40.
Yeah, we would be 40 years.
40 years. Yeah. That's incredible. And now, if people want to come, how do they get here?
So you definitely want to go online to Conservation Halton's website, which is where you would be able to make your booking. Most people, we prefer if they try to book in advance. That way we can control for numbers and make sure that it's a positive experience for everyone. But we recognize that doesn't work for everybody. So if you do drive up to the park and you want to purchase tickets at the gate, that is possible.
You can still do it.
But booking online ensures you have your space.
Okay.
Because if we're full, then we're full.
We're full. Okay, so the next couple of weeks, this is running until April the 9th?
April the 9th,
So you want to come, you want to bring your kids for March break experiences. This is going to be such a fun place to be, especially with all the snow and the cold temperatures. Come and try some of the gorgeous maple syrup they have here at Mountsburg.